to Ron Siegel Radio on ESPN Radio 1700. Now, live in studio, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content this morning, please join me in welcoming our featured guest, Christianna Schreifels. Welcome.
Thank you, Ron. It's a pleasure being here.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. There is a lot to celebrate right here in the state of confusion. The state of California. Got a lot. Here it is, a multiple celebration day. National Men Make Dinner Day. That is today. Don't know if you caught that one. Men Make Dinner Day. Now, in some instances, I wonder if you want the man to be making dinner. Because part of the tradition on Men Make Dinner Day is there is no barbecuing. I don't know why they have that as part of the tradition, but that is part of the tradition. No barbecuing. So I saw that the rules of the game here is that the men are supposed to know their way around the kitchen. Cleanup, got to do the cleanup as well. Aprons are optional. I did not see any notation on there that I could not make reservations, so that's what I've done. So if you are participating in Men Make Dinner Day, you got the hashtag Men Make Dinner Day. Pretty simple hashtag right there. Share those stories with us. Let me know if your man is making you dinner. We've also got, on a more exciting note, today is National Donut Day. So choose wisely which one you want. Apple fritter on my mind if you've got an option there for me. I better get into just a little bit more seriousness here as the day rolls along. Otherwise, I might get myself in more trouble. Speaking of trouble, have you followed the loudmouth slime ball? You know, I'm not a big on certain people. They get under my skin, and then I listen to what they have to say. I don't know why I listen to what they have to say. But the jerk Quentin Tarantino is back in the news again. And every time he opens his mouth, he lets everybody in the whole world know what an idiot he is. Now, maybe he makes a decent movie. I'm not even sure about that. But the more he opens his mouth, the more we find out
You're absolutely useless.
Yes, he is absolutely useless. So here was his commentary as he went on one of the stations. I think it was MSNBC yesterday. They're probably the only station that'll let him on anymore. So here's what his commentary was. Is he says, I thought I had the right to say under the First Amendment whatever I want to say. Well, here's the answer, stupid. You're right. You do have the answer. You have the right to say those things. And the police were protecting you while you had the right to say those things. But just like you have the right to make stupid comments and show what an idiot you are, probably get an idea that I'm a little passionate about the idiot that Quentin Tarantino is. The police officers have the right to vote on your movie. They voted no, we don't want to go to it. And that's their right, just like it is your right to vote or to spew off the stupidity. You know, who was it? My dad used to tell me this saying that was attributed at the time to Abraham Lincoln. It might have even been before that. Is if you say nothing, people think you're a fool. Open your mouth, you can remove all doubt. Well, Mr. Tarantino has removed all doubt. He is absolutely an idiot, a fool, an ignoramus, and anything else that I can come up with. But think about this concept. He goes out and says that, I'm not a cop hater, and there were 45 instances that he asserts, and again, he's just an idiot, so I don't even know that he can count to 45. Someone might have had to help him. But unless he's talking about the millions of dollars that he makes in the movies while the police officers are making $50,000 or $60,000 to protect him. And yes, he did call the police because of an incident at his house about 2 weeks ago. Wonder why he called them instead of his friends over at Black Lives Matter or something like that. I digress. But again, doesn't understand the fact that, he can say whatever he wants and we can ridicule him. That's our right as well. And I hope you join now almost all police officers, families, and those that support the police saying, something, we're going to vote on what we feel about you, Mr. Tarantino, and we're not going to show up to your film. I applaud everyone that does not go to a Tarantino film. Yeah, give him a big round of applause right there. That's the bottom line on that one. Unbelievable idiot. Speaking of idiots, moving to the next one, the former misleader of the Senate, now he's just the misleader of the Democrat Party, Harry Reid. Talk about that, another goofball in the news, blocking the Kate's Law movement. Can you believe that one? I don't know if you followed Kate's Law. And you show how out of touch Mr. Reid is. The sheriff of the city of San Francisco, or county of San Francisco, sheriff of San Francisco, lost in a landslide. Probably the first time ever an incumbent sheriff has lost in San Francisco. But he did lose in a landslide because the people of San Francisco even realized that Kate's Law is a good thing, that they're out of touch, that when their sheriff lets a 6-time convicted felon out of jail, that's not an issue of illegal aliens. That's an issue of law. That's an issue of a criminal being protected, and now by the United States Senator. I'm just saying here that he's been in the Senate, I don't know, probably since 1987 he got into the Senate. And he got hit in the head last year, the year before, when he was exercising, supposedly. I think there's a screw loose. But again, that's just my opinion. And, he's been one of those that is...
You're absolutely useless.
Unfortunately, if he did nothing, it would be better than what he's been doing. Moving right along. I talked to you yesterday about Loretta Sanchez, the United States Congresswoman from Garden Grove, and her mission to try and get Donald Trump ousted from his hosting of Saturday Night Live this weekend. Do you think that NBC's in the business of do they care who wins the election? Do they care what the issues are, or do they care about making money? I suggest, with all the publicity that the show, and I'm not a big fan of Saturday Night Live. I might watch it just because I like the idea of having somebody that has an opinion. Whether you like his opinion or not, I don't care. I don't care for his opinion. I understand the fact that there are crooks that come from every element of our society, and I'd love to get the ones that we can work with out of here. But holy cow, this group using kids this morning, did you see that? They've got a group of kids coming on with about as foul-mouthed language as you could possibly imagine to protest Donald Trump doing Saturday Night Live. Why do they use their kids as pawns? Another one, I can only say the same thing. I think I'm repeating myself.
You're absolutely useless.
Yep, absolutely useless. Speaking of Loretta Sanchez, and I'm just thinking out loud here because I have no inside information, but an anonymous tip may trigger an ethics inquiry on alleged gifts to Kamala Harris. Now, both of them are running for the same United States Senate seat. Is there any correlation? You decide. I'm not going to say a word because it could get me in trouble. I just throw that out there just as a little thought-provoking commentary, because you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we will talk about real estate. I think we should all wait until after the holidays to buy a house. Is that a good decision? We're going to talk about it. The feds are cracking down on abusive debt collectors. We'll talk about that. What you should do with $10,000. We'll talk about that as well. You can tell we've got a lot to chat about. And real estate, a lot on the docket. You can reach me anytime. Call our off-air number. It's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, and on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
A safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Ron Siegel Radio Date Night Trivia, presented by Reunion Kitchen and Drink. Friday, Ron will pose a question based on-air conversations during the prior 7 programs. The person to post the answer according to the guest conversation will win a date night package, including a dinner gift card for Reunion Kitchen and Drink. You might even be able to say hi to Ron when you visit Reunion Kitchen and Drink.
It's not every day your home gets flooded, but when it happens, you've got the good people at Apris on your side. With over 25 years of construction and insurance experience, they can turn any disaster around, making your home good as new. For 24/7 support, call 844-GO-APRIS or find us on the web at www.apris.me. Day, night, rain, or shine, when it happens to you, you know what to do. Go Apris. Remember, call 844-GO-APRIS. That's 844-462-7747.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment that's being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Do you want to know the value of your home? I'm going to tell you, as I've told you many times, you're not going to get an accurate value by going online. It just doesn't work that way. I know that you can see what people tell you the values are, a Zillow or Trulia or eStately, Realtor.com. Should I go on? If you look deep inside their websites, they'll actually tell you that they're off by as much as 20 or 25% in the value. So think about this. You go on to one of those sites and you've got a $400,000 home, and they tell you that they'll be off by 25%. That's $100,000. So that means your house could be worth $300,000 or it could be worth $500,000. Really? Think that's a little bit of a wide range? How about texting the word PAIR, P-E-A-R, to 79564. One of the area trusted real estate professionals will reach out to you and give you a more precise value. Why? I had somebody ask me the other day, why PAIR? Why do you use the word PAIR, Ron? Professional Equity Analysis Report. PAIR. Pretty simple. I'm a simple guy. Professional Equity Analysis Report. That's how you do it. So waiting till after the holidays, is it a good decision or not? Here is the analysis. Every year, I hear this on a regular basis. You start it right before Halloween, and I start hearing, well, I think I'll wait until after the holidays to sell my house. And the comment that I have for every one of those people is, okay, why are you waiting till after the holidays? Well, that's when more people are going to be there. And that is probably true. There will be more people that will be out shopping for houses after the holidays. But let's think about what's important to you. Do you think there's going to be more or less houses on the market after the holidays? Well, if you're thinking that, don't you think others are? So the competition is going to be greater after the holidays. There's going to be more supply after the holidays. The people that are out shopping right now, today, they're serious. You don't get window shoppers at this time of year. They go to the mall to do their window shopping. They're not out looking at houses right now. You got relocation buyers are out there right now. They have to move. The serious buyers are out there right now. You can restrict the showings of your property. And let me suggest this to you as well. When do you have your house looking the nicest? Now, some people have their houses nice all the time, but do you not see more houses decorated at this time of year than any other time of year? So let's think about this. We've got less supplies. That means the demand is going to be higher. And I'm going to share with you that the inventory levels compared to last year, they're already low. This is according to the National Association of Realtors. July supply versus last year down 4.7%. August supply versus last year down 1.7%. September supply versus last year down 3.1%. So we've got supply down. People still need to move for those relocations and the things we just talked about. And you're thinking about waiting till after the holidays so you have more competition and more houses on the market to compete with. Does that make any sense to you at all? I would say that
You know better than that.
you know better than that. So if you're thinking about selling, let's talk right now. I don't sell real estate, so it's easy for me to share this information with you. I have a real estate license. I've never used my real estate license. I do other things, but I can put you in touch with great real estate people anywhere within the sound of my voice. Or if you're watching us on live stream, YouTube, I can help you there too. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, again brought to you by the Real Estate Professionals, the area trusted real estate professionals, Ron Siegel Radio. Again, suggesting you text PAIR, P-E-A-R, to 79564. Get a copy of your true value of your property, and I'll even send you, here you go, try this one. Text HSG, Home Seller's Guide. I'll give you a copy of my free Seller's Guide. Again, just text it to the same number, 79564, HSG. We'll send you a copy of our free Seller's Guide. Give you some ideas on selling your home at this time of year. Speaking of buying and selling homes, how about talking to a person that does do that for a living? I do radio. We're going to talk to Christianna Schreifels, TNG Real Estate. Welcome.
Thank you, Ron. It's wonderful to be here.
Glad to have you with us. So you heard my opinion there of selling at the holidays. What are your thoughts?
I absolutely agree. In fact, I have 2 buyers I'm presently working with, and I call it a mantra. Buy now, buy now, buy now, because it is a key time to buy. You have people that are very motivated to sell. Their idea is, I want to be done with this whole transaction before Christmas and into my new home. So these are motivated sellers, and their houses are pristine because of the holidays. As you said, they're decorated. And I believe that motivated sellers during the holidays are more willing to work with buyers. That's what I've seen in my experience of 10 years.
What do you mean by they're more willing to work with buyers? They're more negotiable?
They're more negotiable. They're desperate. They want to be in their new home by the new year. I've always seen that. I've sold several houses during the Christmas season, and it seems as if they're just more festive, more willing to help out.
A little more jovial and in a giving way.
In a giving way, exactly.
It's the season.
Take advantage of the season if you're a buyer right now.
I like that. I hadn't thought about that part of it because, everybody's in a way of accommodation at this time of year, other than when you're driving and everyone seems like they got road rage.
Exactly, especially here in California.
Exactly. But I like that idea that people are really more accommodative. And they're out there, they are hunting. The new laws are not prohibiting. There are a lot of people that are telling you that there's new lending laws, which is true. I am seeing that those are not prohibiting the people that are doing their job the right way from getting the loans done. You've got to be going and getting pre-approved from a great lender. Again, I can put you in touch with the right people there as well. Do not go to the big bank on the corner. They're great people, but they've only got one product to offer, theirs. They're not going to be able to help you with multiple products. So as I share all the time, year-round, go to a mortgage banker, whomever that might be, and they're going to be the ones that are going to help you out a little bit more. Do you find people are less willing to show their properties at this time of year, or are people willing, are they accommodative there as well, that there's not a lot of blackout dates from seeing a property?
I haven't seen a difference during the holidays. I've seen people that want, show my home by appointment only, or
which is fair.
It's totally fair. That's their right as the seller. Also, hey, come, just drop by, call me, let me know that a buyer's coming by, or the house is already vacant because they decided, well, my house will sell and it's empty. That just happened recently with a client of mine. We wanted to go see a home. It said it was occupied, and in fact it was vacant. They had just purchased a new home, and were excited to even come down on their price because they needed to sell, knowing that they have a new mortgage on top of the one they already have.
Okay, so they've got 2 mortgages. There's a good motivation to sell.
Yes, it is. So it doesn't really matter. It really depends on your seller. The seller makes the call when it comes to availability for showings or not, and I've never seen a difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it. The idea there is, if you're having a big party at your house on Saturday night, whatever Saturday,
right,
and you say, something, we're getting ready for this party, the house is not conducive for showing, you can work around that.
Oh, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Show it on Friday, show it on Sunday, whatever, you make it work. But don't use that as a fear factor or a reason that you're not going to put your house on the market at this time of year, because everybody's got family coming in. Everybody understands that.
Yes, and as a seller, one of the key points I encourage my sellers with is, it's your house, and I work with you. You're the one that determines when to see your home and when to not. What I love about most sellers, I have never worked with a difficult seller, is they're very accommodating. They want to sell their home. And hey, if you have a party, we'll cut off showing times by 4, and they're very kind about it and say, okay, that's wonderful.
Okay, yeah, and again, those are all issues that we can. When you have a great real estate agent that understands the marketplace,
right,
especially a full-time real estate agent, because the idea here is real estate agents are working people as well. And everything that you and I are going through, the real estate professionals are as well. They've got family coming in from out of town. They're dealing with the holidays, kids' parties, the whole 9 yards. It's all going on just the same as everybody else. So when you're thinking about that, they're only wanting to bring and deliver to your house. If you've got a house for sale, They only want to bring somebody that's motivated and they don't want to be dealing with the looky-loos either.
Not at all.
Right? That's the whole issue right there. We're going to talk more about this when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Abusive debt collectors. Have you ever heard of one of them? I'll talk about it. Here's what to do with $10,000. We're going to talk about that. We'll also talk more about real estate competition. What type of things might separate you from your competition when you're looking to buy or sell property? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. If you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But it will be in the archives of Ron Siegel Radio and also on YouTube, Ron Siegel 1. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
In the middle of our street, our house.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel lending team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel lending team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL lendingteam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Southern California attorneys have over 15,000 real estate agents to call in Orange County for their personal and professional needs. Why do they overwhelmingly call Melinda Johnson? Simple. It's the Melinda Johnson trifecta. Melinda is an attorney, real estate broker, and realtor. Does your family deserve the same professional services California lawyers demand? Call Melinda Johnson at 714-863-5485. That's 714-863-5485. Or on the web at freedomfirstproperties.com. Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
37% of American homeowners believe they have over 20% equity in their homes. Fannie Mae tells us 69% of American homeowners have over 20% equity in their homes. Fully 1 in 3 American homeowners are not informed about the amount of equity they have in their homes. Are you one of them? How might this be holding you back from achieving your goals? Text RSR CMA to 79564 to get a property valuation from one of the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Again, to know how much your home is really worth, simply text RSR CMA to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it is wrong. We know that they're wrong. How do I know yours is wrong? Well, it's simple. They're all wrong. I've been looking at credit reports since the mid-90s, and I've yet to see one that's completely accurate. That's why I talk about it so frequently. And I've shared with you many, many times that I understand this. The reason that the bureaus have no problem with your report being wrong is they're selling your scores. And when they sell your scores, who do you think the people that are buying them want scores from? They want scores that are lower because they can charge a higher interest rate. We talk about that on a regular basis. Credit Sanitizer is your protection plan for that. And think about this plan that they've got. I just learned about this on Monday when Mike Watson was on, and we were talking about $87 a month. And think about what you get for $87 a month. First off, LifeLock, which is a great item. Credit restoration, they'll work on your credit report. A credit attorney, which you'll hear in a minute why that's so important. They'll create a will, a trust, a power of attorney for you, all for the same amount. Smart credit, debt zero to help you with paying which debts to pay off first. That financial lockbox, getting your credit reports, the real credit report anytime you want it. And here's one of the reasons why this is so important. Again, $87 a month. How do you go wrong? CreditSanitizer.com. Feds cracking down on illegal debt collectors. And the feds talk about this all the time. The debt collectors use these different scare tactics. And the recent report that was just highlighted was a debt collector calling a principal at a teacher's school and telling the principal that they're going to come in and possibly file or serve papers or arrest one of the teachers. Totally against the law. Cannot be done. But you get some of these rogue debt collectors going out there and doing these things. So far this year, the FTC has won $88 million in judgments against debt collection companies. $88 million. Now here's the issue there. It's a drop in the bucket. They look at that as just a cost of doing business. Do you know any other industry that could get away with having over 600,000 complaints to the FTC? Well, that's the debt collection and the credit bureau industry. Unbelievable amounts. And it's all because people don't understand that they have rights under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and it protects consumers from certain collection practices. Debt collectors can't call a person's work. They can't threaten harm, and they cannot use profane language. That's all against the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. But if you don't have somebody working on your behalf, what are you going to do about it? CreditSanitizer.com, there's a box right there in the middle that gives you the protection plan, $87 a month, or the box to the left of that if you just want credit restoration. I think it's like $499 just to have them work on your credit report for a year. Either way you need it, there is the option for it. Again, I don't work for the company. I don't own the company. I just share great information with you. That is Your Credit Matters. Again, brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. We continue our conversation this morning with Christianna Schreifels. She's with TNG Real Estate Consultants. So let me ask you a question here, Christianna. I know you said you're working with a couple of buyers. So let's think about that. Well, don't tell me names. What area are they in?
I am in the San Gabriel Foothills.
San Gabriel Foothills. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms are you looking for?
For one client, I am looking for a 4-plex.
Okay.
And for another client, I am presently looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Okay, so if you're in the San Gabriel Foothills and you're thinking about selling and you don't want to go through all the hassle of selling, which is not a big hassle, but you think it is, just give me a call and I'll put you in touch with Christianna, and she might have somebody for your house and you don't even have to worry about going through the whole process other than show it to her client. And a 4-plex though.
Yeah.
Is it going to be an owner-occupied 4-plex or is it going to be all investment?
It's an investment property.
Okay, so there are those people that like the idea of the multi-unit, so they live in one, rent the other, and let somebody else pay their mortgage.
Yeah, I actually have a client who we will be looking for that next month. She's not ready at the moment, but She just gave me word that's what her dream is. So if you know of anybody, yes, contact me.
Well, and it's just a strategy, and I love the idea when I talk to, and I see it right here on your card. It doesn't say salesperson. Obviously you've got that license that has to be that way, but consultants. Right, so you're able to go out and say, okay, Is the fourplex strictly investment? That's great. People do that. Same lending guidelines for a fourplex. Anything up to 4 is the same as a residential house, other than some of the lending limits are a little bit higher. But you can also buy that multi-unit, live in 1, rent 3. Don't tell the people that you're the landlord, because then they come bothering you at goofy times.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
But that's all from a financial planning standpoint. Where do you think real estate's going to go over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Up, down, another bubble?
Well, from what I've seen, yes, there's going to be another bubble.
Okay.
It's just predictable, because if you look at the cycles over the past 25 years, it's that way. Real estate is in cycles, and but over the next few years, we're plateauing. We have little bumps of increase, but yet it hasn't gone up exorbitantly as it has in the past, and so hoping that the economy picks up a bit more, it could go up, but it's all speculative until it happens. I mean, it's as if...
So when you say that you're looking at a bubble, you're seeing another in that... Because you're right. I mean, every 7 years we do have these cycles.
Yes.
And real estate, it comes back a little bit, a couple of percent here, 5% there. But are you looking at another 40% drop like we did in 2009?
Gosh, I hope not. They're saying, there are the pessimists and then there are the optimists in the real estate industry and in the financial industry. And they're saying yes, and then other people are saying, no, that'll never happen. I do not like when people say that will never happen, because the potential of it happening is obviously, history proves itself that it has happened already.
Well, something, we do have good history. We can see that the real estate dropped about 50% in 1929, thereabouts, 1929, 1930.
Right.
Then we saw another, we had that cycle where it's up and down, normal cyclical for about 100 years. And then we saw in 2008 that, we had that big drop again. So maybe it's another 100 years. You'll probably be right.
Yeah.
The ones that say that 40% or 50%.
Right.
Right. I mean, the thing that I love that what you're saying there, though, is you have to realize that if it's happened, it could happen.
Exactly.
Right.
Buy a house, because that is your castle.
Right.
And no one can take it away from you. Make your payments, and you're good.
And that's the whole thing. Is if you've made a plan, the thing that caused a lot of people problem was the fact that they bought houses that they couldn't afford.
Exactly. Well, the lenders weren't being honest.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
You've got a combination. I mean, I'm a big proponent that everybody had a hand in the market. Wall Street wanted these loans.
Yes.
Lenders made the loans. The loan mortgage people went out and sold the loans that were available. Consumers said, "Hey, I can buy $1 million house and I deliver pizzas all day." Okay, they probably knew that they couldn't afford $1 million house, so there's a lot of complicity in there.
There was, and I'm glad that the laws changed, and I see that the real estate industry is a lot better. There's more integrity. It's required.
Absolutely. We pushed, I know on the lending side, about 70% of the people are out of the industry, which is good.
Yes.
There's probably 50% of them should have been out. Probably 25% of those shouldn't have been in the first place.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? They were just in a get-rich-quick scheme that, ended up costing a lot of people a lot of money. But right now, those people that have been able to survive, like you, in the industry over the last 10 years, if they're in the real estate industry, if they're in the mortgage industry, they're people that basically know what they're doing because they've weathered the storm.
I agree, and they care. I genuinely have seen better realtors.
Right.
And I've seen better service. I love being a realtor. Just the integrity is there with the people that I've worked with. And if I see a possible shady person, I won't even recommend them to my clients for any reason.
And that's the beauty of doing this full time and being in it and having experience.
Exactly. Yeah, I love.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if you see a listing, and I know that I see these things all the time, that I see that John Jones has a listing, and I don't know a John Jones. I'm just using a hypothetical name. So John, don't call me. If I see a listing from that person, I see somebody says, "Well, I want to go see that property," and I say, "Well, I'll tell you, the real estate agent, don't even go there," because you don't need those headaches. There's enough great real estate people out there that are doing business the right way. They're ethical, honest, like you're just sharing. Mm-hmm. That why look for trouble?
Yeah.
It's your castle. Like as you said, it's your castle.
It's true.
And it doesn't matter if it's a $100,000 castle or a $100 million castle. It's yours.
It's yours. That's the beauty of it.
Absolutely. We're going to talk when we come back about listings. How often do you have to have an open house? How long do you have to keep them opened? Public, private? How do you come up with the listing price? Got a lot to talk about, but we don't have a lot of time, so I'm just going to tell you, you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, yes, that listing price, how is it determined? Who sets that number? We'll talk about it. You can reach me anytime. Call our off-air number. It's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, and on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a loved one who wants to stay in their home, but you have health concerns about it? The Preferred Care team understands the challenges of caring for your loved ones. Their goal is to keep seniors as independent as possible while maintaining their health, safety, and overall well-being. Whether you need just a few hours a week or 24-hour care, Preferred Care caregivers are trained to meet your needs. Call Preferred Care at 714-696-9150. That's 714-696-9150. Or visit preferredcare.com.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Scripps Proton Therapy Center is turning cancer treatment into an art form because life after cancer is a beautiful thing. Learn more at scripps.org/beautiful-thing.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text ATP to 79564, ATP to 79564, and we will set up that household board of directors for you. It's all professionals in your neighborhood. You're going to have a real estate person. You're going to have a mortgage person. credit repair, financial planner, tax planner. Do you need an estate attorney? Certainly you do. Otherwise, you're going to have to use the states if something happens to you. So you've got an estate attorney, family lawyer, all insurance, everything. They're all right there, and it's a 3-minute survey, and it's complimentary of Ron Siegel Radio. Again, I do not work for any of those companies. I just share the information. I go out and talk to them to make sure that they've got the same heart that I expect from everybody that participates with Ron Siegel Radio. Text ATP to 79564. So I used to be a financial planner. I am not now. I give you some guidance from an educational standpoint. This is not financial advice. But if you had $10,000 in cash, what would you do with it? Well, here's a few different things. Obviously, a lot of people get bonuses at this time of year. Make sure you're getting your complete match on your 401k. Stop giving money to the 401k after you get the match. I'll show you some better places to put money if you have after that match. Pay down high interest rate debt. Get rid of those credit cards. Again, if you're on that financial, the protection plan that I talked about before, Debt Zero tells you where to pay first to minimize the debt as quick as possible. Build an emergency fund. Fund a retirement account, not the IRA. Don't put money in an IRA. It's a waste of your money. It's a government ruse to take more of your money. And set other goals. Maybe it's a 529 plan for your kids. College plans, a health savings account. How about a variable universal life insurance policy that has a guaranteed rate of return? I don't sell them, but I know about them, and I can put you in touch with the right people. Life settlements, they're getting a double-digit rate of return. Again, I don't sell it. Double-digit rate of return year after year. Can I guarantee it in the future? No. But it has happened many, many times in a lot of years in a row, so think about that. We were talking earlier about the idea of if it's happened before, it can happen again. Well, in these instances, these life settlements, many, many years in a row, they're getting double-digit rate of return. So yeah, they can happen again. So let's get you into some wise investments. That is the Word on Wealth segment, again, brought to you by the Area Trusted Professionals. Text ATP to 79564. We're going to continue our conversation. We're talking with Christianna Schreifels about real estate. Didn't even mention before. I should have mentioned this, Christianna. I came out with this little book, and again, I don't sell real estate, but it is free. Home Buyer's Guide. Text HBG to 79564. HBG. Home Buyer's Guide. I'm a simple guy. That's how I come up with these things. 79564. You can get the copy of that Home Buyer's Guide if you're thinking about buying. But let's flip the switch a little bit to the sales side. Let's talk a little bit about marketing of a house.
Okay.
So once the house is listed, or before that, when I made a decision to sell my house, how are you going to come up with the price? Do you just come out and say, Ron, I think you need to sell your house for $150,000 and that's it?
No.
Okay.
It's not arbitrary. It's definitely not an arbitrary process. The process is, it's what you're trained to do, and you go through classes. Plus, you just keep up with the market. At least you should if you're a smart realtor. So, doing a CMA would be the first thing to do.
Oh, you got to back up. CMA. What the heck's a CMA?
It is a comparative market analysis of your home.
Okay.
And
I'm a simple guy. You gotta use the simple stuff for me.
Okay. And I agree with Ron. Listen to him. It's not about going on Zillow or Trulia. Those prices are totally unrealistic. Generally speaking, they are about $20,000 off, give or take, $100,000. I have seen that as well. So you're right about what you said.
Wow, $100,000. Okay, so yeah, I know. I've looked at. I haven't looked at I don't compare those numbers as much as you would going out there and talking to people, but I just look at their reports inside there. Mm-hmm. So, what's the competitive market analysis going to tell me?
Okay. The CMA will be telling you, it's comparative market analysis, and the CMA is basically going to tell them what has been sold in the area within the last 6 months. Professionally speaking, I do the last 3 months, sometimes 6 months. The market has shifted a bit.
So that's going to get us the more
recent sales.
More recent sales and give us a little better data there.
Yes, and then it tells them within a matter of, let's just say, a mile or two from their home, their location, what the prices are actually going for. And then what I do on the flip side is I look up active houses that are the same type of homes as they're willing to sell.
So what the competition is.
And I compare the two, and then I basically give them a figure, and it's completely up to the seller to name the price. They don't have to listen to you, but we are here to guide and advise, and that's what a realtor does. Oftentimes, if they listen, their home is sold within literally the first month to 3 months. We're done with escrow. If they don't listen, I've had a home on the market for as long as 8 months, unfortunately. That was the longest and the most painful because the sellers, weren't realistic with what they wanted to sell their home for.
And then you end up, from what my experience is, I watch properties when people are not realistic, they end up chasing the market down.
Yes.
And actually here's the irony that I see, and I want to see your thoughts on this one also. You get a property that's worth, you do the market analysis, the competition's in the range of, $475,000 to $500,000, and they'll say, why can't we just try it at $550,000? And the property then ends up selling. Now, we said $475,000 to $500,000. Ends up selling at $450,000 because people look at it and what's wrong with it?
Why isn't it selling?
Why isn't it selling?
Why is it on the market longer than 60 days? And there's, yes, that shows the buyer's red flags. And you're also a target of people giving you lowball offers.
Okay.
You don't want to do that. You want to hear the advice of your realtor. And that's what we're here for. We're trained well to, keep up with the market and price your home, give you advice on pricing your home well.
And I would suggest, very, very rarely, I haven't seen too many times when somebody really wants to have their house for sale. People want to have their house sold.
Yes, exactly.
Right? I mean,
that's what the goal is, right?
Right. When they call you, they don't say, Christianna, I want to keep my house up for sale for the next 7 months. And I don't mind having it as a museum and people walking through unexpectedly, and having a sign in the yard.
Right.
That's not their mission.
That is not their mission. Let's hope that when you put yourself in a seller's position and you're listing your home, that you don't want to have it as a museum where people can just come through. So I have had one incidence where out of 10 years, one client actually enjoyed keeping the house on the market for
Oh gosh.
And until finally I said, I'm going to cancel the listing, go with a different realtor. And that's when they chose to reduce the price to the price that I had already, marketed at when I did my CMA for them. And
right.
They saw the light and they sold their house within 3 days.
Really?
Yes, after 8 months.
And that a lot of times that's unusual, I would suggest, right? Because more often than not, when you put the property on the market higher, when you come back at what you suggested initially, it's still got that tarnished.
Yes, it does.
Process or mindset from other people.
Well,
and they end up selling for less, I see more often.
No, you're correct. Let me clarify that the house was sold for literally $50,000 less than what we were to originally market it at because the season had changed and people who had seen that house several times and kept their eye on it realized that they were desperate at that point.
Interesting.
Yes.
So it sounds to me like you got the client a great deal by getting them what you suggested in the first place. Because a lot of times when people smell blood, right, they come in and then they really start the lowball offers then because the property's been on the market a long time. I suggest that's one of the first questions a lot of people are going to look at, and I know I do when I'm talking to somebody. How many days has that property been on the market before you make the offer?
Yes, that's one of the key questions I always get when it comes to a buyer or, asking me, gee, I'm interested in that home. They'll actually wait so that the price has to get driven down.
And if you have the luxury of waiting, number one, that is a strategy. If you're also one of these type people, I fall into this category. I'm not an emotional buyer. So I figure that if the property doesn't get to the price I want it at, I'll wait, or there'll be another property.
Exactly, and there will be another property.
But there are some people that says, that's the one. Well, you got to act.
You have to act.
Right.
Or else it will go. Yes.
In this environment, if properties are priced properly, How in your area in the foothills, how long are they on the market if they're priced properly?
Within 3 weeks, you're in escrow.
Within 3 weeks. So think about that. Right now, we're early part of November. If you're in escrow in 3 weeks, if you're a little more aggressive, you might even be sooner than that. Take advantage of the tax benefits of buying or selling before the year's up. Boy, look at that. It sounds like a great idea to me. And one of the other great ideas that I'm going to share with you right now is set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Steve, who's engineering us today. If you want to meet Christianna, just go to my website or go to Ron Siegel Radio on Facebook. The information is right there. Or call me at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Check in with us tomorrow for date night trivia. And remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
ESPN 700 AM Teka Baka.
You're listening to ESPN Radio 1700.